Who are these food critics anyway? I still feel that, going back into the Destination Smokehouse drama, that people have done Mr. Walter a disservice. He was just a guy having fun, trying to sell some black diamonds, some Tinderisms. And supposedly Keith Lee exposed everything. If he exposed something, shouldn't the patrons there already know? I would say Mr. Walter is a victim of his own success. And while we feel that his situation at Smokehouse he was being exploited, whatever. But you understand, that may be all he has. Or he may have, he might like his situation. Maybe he gets a retirement check from someplace and so forth, and he was happy there. And you say he exposed what? It's not like the restaurant was dirty and, had pests, had mice and roaches and so forth. So what did they do was wrong? Of course, what you see on social media is going to be hyperbolic to what's in real life. I'm like, it's like people have are reacting almost over nothing because they mad because, oh wow, he's not the owner, even though he didn't say he was the owner. Now let's analyze these food critics, because I'm getting tired of these food critics or whatever. First of all, you have to understand the food critics eat at a lot of restaurants, especially these YouTube critics. I'm like, that's their job. That's how they make money. They eat at more restaurants than the average person. So their palate is definitely going to be very different because there's certain things that they're looking for. They're popping in at this restaurant, taking a couple of bites. Now, I'm not just talking about Keith Lee. I understand that he gave Destination Smokehouse a good review, but I'm just talking about these food critics in general. They go there, they take a couple of bites, and so forth. Really, you almost have to eat at a restaurant multiple times to get a precise hypothesis on whether it's good. And then if it's a chain, it may be the location. But the average person in their city just don't go around eating at multiple restaurants like that. So there's spots that I go to that I think are good or suffice that the critics are probably absolutely slammed. Like, oh, these fries are way too greasy. They drip in, the coleslaw, the macaroni. For me, it's suffice. I mainly go off my own peeps. If my own peeps said, hey man, this restaurant is dope, that's what I go by. I'm not going to say, oh well, this influencer said it was bad. He said that the fries, the macaroni had grease in it and so forth. And you got to understand, these food reviewers doing multiple restaurants, then they come, they sit in their car and have this big freaking like buffet out. The average person don't eat like that unless you're just really crunched for time or something. They're not going to get this whole like family size meal and sit there and eat it in their car. Like if I paid $20 for a meal, I'm not eating it in my car. I'm gonna eat it at the restaurant or go home, eat it while watching Netflix and have me a beer. That's, I'm like, I'm paying $20 for this meal. I want the whole full experience. But, food critics, these YouTube, they're not real food critics. Not the kind that will be in the newspaper, back in the days. Because those food critics, they will actually go sit down at the meal and, take in all the ambience and so forth. They're like real professionals or whatever. These guys just sit inside their car. And I understand why watching their channel can be these channels can be addictive because you're just really watching somebody eat. You know, they're sitting in their car. They're going to multiple restaurants a day, man. You're not going to get a good analysis out of these guys. How would you? I'm like, I admit, some restaurants they say are bad probably really are bad. But I let the system, you know what I'm saying, flush them out. If it's a terrible restaurant, they're going to go down anyway. There's some restaurants they may give praise to that you go there and you're like, you know what I mean? So they're eating at multiple restaurants, multiple cities, multiple countries. So their outlook is going to be different. You know, as far as me, man, I go to a fish fry place around the corner, greasy ass fries, get me a beer, man, and I'm good. You know, but that's all I want to say. Thanks for watching. Never stop learning.